Good evening, everybody. How are we all on this Sunday evening? Sorry I'm a bit late. I think having an extra day means that I just I don't know, I'm not kind of as organised as I would like to be after having 3 days off rather than just 2 for the weekend. So welcome back. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Kelley Farley. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Karaka, Auckland, New Zealand, and I come on every Sunday night at 7:30 to make a card with you, and I'm not organised for that today. I've been thinking about things that I wanted to make but haven't actually got a sample or anything. Let me just get this up on my screen and turn my lights on. I was busy doing some work and lost track of time, but what I did think I would show you is I got the new Stampin Positioner tool, which is, and I got a couple of, I've got some new designer series paper which we might make a card out of, and I've got a couple of new stamp sets that I've taken that are in the new packaging from online exclusives, I think they are, so I thought I'd show you those. So if you're around, please do say hello. If you watching the replay, please do say hello as well. Even though you're not here live, I do get notifications if you've watched it and you leave a message, so love to hear from you. I'm just trying to get this up so that I can see that it's working, but I can't. So let me just try this again. Sorry, I've just got stuff flying around now that I've moved everything. Right, where are we? See anything? No, it's not showing up. Oh, there we go. Nope, it's not showing up either. Oh my goodness, here we go. There we go. Put that on silent so we don't get feedback. It is on silent. Make it bigger so I can see. Alright, please do say hello if you're here. I mentioned, I think last week or the week before, that Stampin' Up have brought out a new tool called the Stampin Positioner, and if you're anything like me, watch lots of other demonstrators, so you will have seen it, but I thought I would show that to you along with the old Stampin, what was it called? I can't remember what it was called now. Let me get it out and we'll show, and we will have a look. I will just pop this down so that you can see, have a little look at some paper that we've got in. This is called Hobby Haven, and Stamparatus is what it's called. That's right. And like I said, I'm not very organised, so I have to get it out of my cupboard. So this is the Stamparatus. It's smaller than, it's very much like a Misty, so if you're familiar with a Misty, it has, let me move this out of the way. So it comes with, take my top off there. It comes with, so this is the base, and it comes with 2 plates. The Misty only has 1. I don't have a Misty, but from what I've seen online, it looks like it's only 1, and it is permanently attached, whereas this one comes apart, so you can actually take it off and do hinge stamping with this one. Alright, you can also load up stamps on one side, stamp, and then put stamps on the other side, flip it over and stamp, so you don't have to keep moving things around. And it actually comes with 2. So 2 don't sit in there to store because they're too thick, but you get 2 plates with it. Let me just lift this up a bit. So this is the Stamparatus. You also have a foam mat for your photopolymer stamps, and like I said, that doesn't close very well. And then for storage, one of them comes off. And then you also have two quite strong magnets, which I've put washi tape on just so that they are easier, because they're quite strong. They're a bit hard to lift up, and you don't want them connecting with each other, so having them like that is useful. There is a little slot on the back here for the two magnets to sit into. Alright, so that is the Stamparatus. So it's got lots of, that's it there, so you can see how you've got the two and you can bring them over at the same time. And some little tips in there. Stampin with one plate, Stampin with two, what you should have. And then there's some directions of ways that you can work with it. So that's the original one that Stampin' Up brought out a few years ago. It's been off the market for quite some time because there were some legal issues apparently with that. So they've now brought out the Stampin' Positioner. So this arrived the other day. I haven't used it, but like I said, I've watched a few people online. So it's slightly bigger. There's two positioning tools that come with it. There are some instructions and some magnets. So this is the new one. So you have this whole plate comes right off. Okay, so there's no hinge or anything like that, and it sits like so. So it sits here. These two here are spring loaded, and then there's two spring loaded feet. So you pop that on there, and then you'll push down to use. So you can put your stamp anywhere. So you can have two pieces of card in there if you wanted to. The magnets have the little tab things on them to lift them. You don't want to probably do that. Have the tabs on them so that you can easily pick them up, and they're protected in this plastic here. So they go on. I haven't brought the grid paper, but you can buy grid paper, and it's got little holes, and I don't know how, oh you can see it pretty well. It has little holes, and so the grid paper sits into there. And then I haven't decided, I've just realised there's actually a ruler up there. So actually going over it, and down the side here, going over that with a black pen, a felt pen might be useful because it'll go into the grooves. So then you can have grid paper on here and then use that to line up your grid paper. So it works the same way. You put your paper down, you put your paper in, and put your magnets on, line that up, put your stamp on here, flip it over, ink it up, and then you line that up, and it doesn't actually touch. So you can line it up and go, oh, that's not the right place, and move your paper or move your stamp. You pop it on, and it doesn't actually stamp until you press down. Okay, so you can press down a few times and then you'll stamp. The other option that you have is the smaller option here, which again has the spring loaded pieces, and they fit. My understanding was that they fit on there. Let's have a look, because like I said, I haven't used it. Maybe they don't. So you see, you stamp, push it on, and then for the small one, oh, yeah, it says that. So then here, oh, do they go on these ones? Oh, they go on those ones. So they go on these ones where the paper goes. No, it doesn't look like that on the book. Oh, maybe I've got a dud. Just rest it up against it. By the looks of that. Oh, look at this. Yeah, it's in between. So you rest it up against it and then you can stamp along. Move it and stamp it on. And that's where the grid paper would come in handy, but you can use it either way. So you can have your stamp going long ways this way, or you can have, if you've got a really short one, you can have it facing that way. You could actually just put it anywhere and just use it. So that is the small plate. Gives you repeating stamping as well. Yeah. Let's just see. Oh yeah, it fits on there. So you just move that along to where you want it. Okay. So shall we have a go at using it? Now it is a little, it's going to be a little more funky without the, I might just use some paper. There's a protector. So I'm going to put that on. I'm going to get some, I'm going to get some cardstock. And we'll stamp on it. And go that one. Hello. Okay, so I would suggest that this is actually quite good if you have issues with your hands and you can't grip our blocks. So, you know, when you've got blocks, the smaller ones, sometimes they're a bit hard to grip. So this would actually be quite good. Unfortunately, at the moment, you can only get it if you join. It's a joining special, so it's free if you join. You still get all your other bits and pieces that you would get if you were to join. But let me cut that down. There is a plan for, they have mentioned that they are hoping to get it so that it's available for anyone to purchase after the joining offer finishes, which is the 2nd of March it finishes. So you would pay $189 and you would get to choose $285 worth of product for yourself, and then this would be, you don't need a code or anything, this would just be added on to your order for free. It's worth, I think it was 103 or something around there. Okay, so we're going to use a stamp here. I'm going to pop that on there. I'm going to get my top plate. I'm going to place that where it lines up, and then I'm going to grab my stamp. Obviously that's a little bit sticky, and that's okay at the moment because it's got something on it. So the rubber ones are quite thick, so you might just have to be a bit careful about how much pressure you put. Right, so I'm going to put some ink on here. And I'm going to, I don't have daubers, but I'm just going to really carefully tap my stamp pad. and it is going over the side of the block, but it's okay. Stamp pad. I'm just going to use a tissue. Shouldn't really use tissues on your stamps, but just because, see, that's why we don't use tissues on our stamp, because now we've got fluff on there. I'm going to use Shy Shamrock to do the leaves. Okay, and that's just gone in the ink, so that's real to look out. And just there, just going to press on there, get rid of it. If you have daubers, that's a great way of adding colour to your. So I'm just tipping it so that I can add some Junior Pop. Alright, so that's our stamp all inked up. I'm just going to huff on it because it is a little bit, it might dry a bit. It's like heavy breathing. Okay, so we're just going to pop that on there, make sure that it's in the right place, and then we're just going to make sure that that's actually nice and firm. And ta-da! And that is our stamp. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to use C. And this stamp set, if you have been following me, is one of the ones that you can get if you spend over a certain amount each month. We're on our 3rd month. This stamp set is still available, so if you spend $150, you have the option of purchasing this for $11. So it's in the place of Celebration. So at the moment there's 2 packs of paper, 12 by 12 full packs of paper, and this stamp set. So I'm going to go half of this down. And I'm actually going to see, it's struck real hard. I'm going to see if I can do it this way, because that's a really nice font, that. And I'm going to line my positioner up here, and I'm going to line it up with that here. I'm lining the edges up with the top, with this smaller row. So I'm just popping that down on there, and I'm going to press it down and pick it up. I'm just going to hold the card, and we're going to use, oops. So this is quite nice if you've got big stamps. It's easy to hold without having to grip hold of a smaller block. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to pop that back there, over there of it. And then we're going to press down. Nice and easy, and there we go. That is, so that's using our main plate and then using the smaller plate up there, and just using the pins that we have already there. Ah, well done, Kelley. You just put blue ink over everything. Okay, so that's our new Stampin' positioner. I'm going to just move this out of the way. Let's trim this down a bit, I think. make this slightly smaller so I can map some card behind it. Yeah. And I'll get a piece of Secret C card. Like that. And then one of the other new things that we've got is this Secret C ribbon, which I'm going to wrap around. Oops. Oh gosh, oh no, that's right. I thought, oh my gosh, I ripped it, but I haven't. This really pretty sheer ribbon, which I'm going to pop in my little thing. Oh my gosh, that is like a long piece. That is causing a problem. There we go. Okay, so that then slides in there. That then slides in there. Alright. And then I can find it easily next time I want to use it. Alright, so let's put a piece of ribbon down here, which is hopefully gonna... Oh no, Alison, that's terrible. Facebook is doing some weird things. It keeps logging me out and then not letting me back in. So I was a little bit late coming on. I thought it was very odd, but I did just it took ages for it to pop up for me as well when I went looking for it so that I could see if anyone was there. So I've just used the new Stampin positioning tool, which I'll show you before we finish, but I'm just going to finish off this card. And this is some new ribbon, which I've just cut too short. I was hoping to hide my mistake with it, but I'm not sure that it's going to work because I can't make the bow tight enough. Oh, there we go. Okay, and put that down like that. Oh, it does. Put that over there. just going to put that there. I'm actually going to get a glue dot because that's annoying. Oh, Alison, I'm sorry. I may not have been talking very much. When I did get on, I said that I was a little bit disorganized because, you know, you'd think that after having an extra day's holiday that I'd be better organized, but I'm feeling like I'm less organized. And so I was doing some work and got distracted doing work. And then forgot the time, so I was late. So it might not be you, it might be me. And hello, Andrea. You're both fine. Nice to see you on. I've just done a real quick card with the new Stampin positioner. And using a piece of this new sheer ribbon that we've got, which is in cloud colour. And try and move some stuff around, and then we'll get some glue. And a nice quick easy card using the stamp positioning tool, and this stamp also is one of the new ones that if you spend, and as far as I know it's still available, let me just double check, if you spend $150 you can purchase this for $11, so it's actually a really nice stamp set. It's called the Product of the Month, and we've got 3, we've had 3, it started in January. I really liked the font on it, so I'll just show you. You can choose the blue paper, or you can choose the stamp set, or for February this is the new paper that's come out. So they're full packs of paper, but you can't just purchase them, unfortunately. It's called Fabulous Sayings, Andrea, and it is one of the Product of the Month stamp sets. So it also comes in the new packaging. I don't know if you've seen anything around that, but it's I really quite like the font, and this is a really nice Happy Birthday. It's a great size, but I will move this out of the way and I'll quickly show you ladies the Stampin Positioner, which at the moment is only available if you join, but they're hoping there is talk of it being available once the joining period is over. So at the moment it's only available to current or new demonstrators. So let me move this out of the way. So you get this tool. Let me get my sheet, so we can clean those off, put that away. Okay, so actually I'll leave them on there. Tissue, where did that go? Okay, so Stampin' Positioning tool comes with this white base which has what do you call it? Measurements along the top and measurements down the side. Comes with these 2 magnets, one full plate which sits on here, and then also one smaller plate which you can use for smaller stamps. The idea is that you pop your card in there, you put your stamp on the back, you ink it up however you're going to do it with whatever colours you're doing, and then you just come in and press it down. There's lots of pink on there that I have missed. I can see against the white. I don't want to get it on anything. What is it on? So that's how that works. So you pop your. I haven't got the. I'm in the process of ordering the grid paper, but I've just noticed too that there is a mark here so that you can do things on an angle. So you pop your pieces of paper in, and I watched someone do a circular image using the same image like a wreath kind of thing, which actually was quite reasonably easy. So it's a pressure sense, so it won't touch the card until you push down on it, and then you've also got the smaller one which also has ink around the outside of it, which just sits against these little thingies, so you can pop it in, you can line it up, you can stamp. It's got pressure sensors all the way around. In the instructions it looks like it's supposed to go on one of those. Hey! But maybe it's one of these. No, it goes in between. But anyway, I haven't had a play with it, but that's what it looks like in the instructions. But I think that's wrong. I think it's actually these little ones that it goes in. So the paper, the grid paper also has little holes in it, and it sits on those little smaller dots so that you can, yeah, it is those. So it sits on there. So it wasn't working for me before, but now it is. So you can then do like graduated stamping and things like that on it. So that is the new Stampin' positioner. And I did bring out the old Stamparatus, which is very similar. If you have a Misty, it's very similar to a Misty, where you can pop. It's slightly, the base is slightly smaller. You still get two plates, but they're both the same size. Plus you get a foam mat, so it's more of a hinge kind of thing, and then you can actually have two. One open and then you can do the other one. So that was the old Stamparatus that we had, which if you're on the buy sell page, that's really odd. And Alison, I'm really sorry about that. Andrea, can you hear me? Or am I just speaking too quietly maybe? Sorry. Or my phone is too far away. That's annoying. I'm really sorry, Alison. I hope that the replay is better. Anyway, I am going to leave it there. If you would like information about the Stampin' Positioner tool, or because it is a join only offer at the moment, if you'd like to have more information about that, please get in touch. If not, thank you for joining me. Here is our card that we made tonight using the Stampin' Positioner tool. Obviously that's not going to be, was it? Okay, so maybe it's a Facebook thing. Thank you, Andrea. I know you're probably not going to be able to use that to make a card, but so I'm just going to pop this up on the page. Any cards that you might make during the week, feel free to pop on. I would love to see what you've been creating or that you have been creating. Okay, bye for now. Thanks for joining me. See you later.